So how did we get to this point? And more importantly, how do we get past it?
Those are questions Denver 7's Russell Haythorne has been asking teachers, administrators, and parents for weeks now. Tonight, he's going 360 on the walkout and the years of frustration behind it.
Give them 10 drops of that bodily fluid.
In Mr. Riffy's science class.
Ooh.
Okay.
And down the hall in Miss Hendrick's math class.
So this guy is -1.
The passion for teaching is undeniable.
This looks really good.
But passions are also heating up with regard to teacher pay in Denver.
We're 100% ready to strike. Absolutely 100%.
Our students don't have the time for us to not be serving them.
Our teachers must be respected.
If not now, when?
At issue are perhaps two central concerns: low teacher salaries and a top-heavy central administration office. Teachers make an average of $53,000 a year in Denver, compared to $59,000 in Aurora. A teacher with 16 years experience and a master's makes $65,000 in Denver, compared to $87,000 in Cherry Creek, $86,000 in Boulder. Also, the DPS Central Administration Office has 473 employees. That's nearly twice the state average. And all of them make more than $80,000 a year.
Why can't you do that for your teachers?
Teacher Rebecca Hendricks has been at the bargaining table for the union. She says the two sides are still miles apart.
We need more money.
On the other side of the table, new Superintendent Susana Cordova says she's working on cuts.
I agree that our central office is too big.
And she says they're willing to offer teachers $20+ million more a year.
Is it competitive?
Yeah, you know, a lot of what we are proposing right now is a much more competitive scale.
But Margaret Bobb, who just retired last summer after teaching for 26 years in Denver, argues DPS still isn't offering parity or a simple salary schedule, which is driving teachers with experience to neighboring districts.
Once again, DPS has to make it way more complicated than it needs to be, probably because they're trying to hide something.
Meantime, parents are divided. While some see the strike as selfish,
well, I hope they don't. If she's not in school, I can't go to work. That would suck because that would mess with my schedule and I would have to figure something out.
Others see a strike as selfless.
They're not demanding or asking for something unreasonable. They're asking for a fair wage.
A new poll from the Colorado Education Association shows 9 out of 10 DPS parents support the teachers. In contrast to that, the Denver Post editorial board has come out in favor of the district. Mother of two, Sochi Gaitan, believes the problems all stem from the previous superintendent, who turned traditional neighborhood schools like Kepner Beacon Middle School into charters. Lincoln High, for example, is now made up of 3 different charters.
The second floor of Lincoln High School has a wall in the middle of it.
Hi. All those charter schools require lots of oversight, which some say are those central administrators making big bucks.
What positions are really needed and which ones are not needed?
You got the big guys up here, but you don't got your teachers. You don't got a school.
So what now? DPS is offering roughly $23 million more a year. Teachers are asking for $31 million.
Kids need experienced teachers, and I'll be damned if they're going to continue to break what was once a viable, strong public school system.
The teachers say they're ready to walk, something that hasn't happened in Denver since 1994.
This can't go on. We're going to strike if something doesn't change.
The superintendent says if that happens, schools will not shut down.
We'll have substitute teachers. We have, licensed professionals. Our #1 priority will be keeping school open.
But teachers are calling the district's bluff. They say there's no way the district has enough substitutes to replace 4,000 teachers.
That's bargaining in bad faith.
The people suffering in all of this are going to be the students, the children. My 11-year-old who's in 5th grade.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
And all weekend, you've been sending us your thoughts on the teacher strike. Lori Wiederholt says she moved from small-town Texas to teach here in Denver, only to find the pay didn't match the cost of living. She added, quote, "There are many personal and fulfilling rewards in working with students, but competitive salaries and a supportive work environment are what will attract the best people. Viewer David Farad calls the strike long overdue, writing, quote, administrators make the big bucks while teachers do all the hard work but make low salaries. And Guy Towdy says the state should have stopped the strike in its tracks. He says, quote, this strike is unnecessary. DPS students will suffer while the players decide not to take part in meaningful negotiations. We'd love to hear from you. Email us your thoughts at 360@kmgh.com or leave a comment on Facebook.
And you can depend on Denver 7 to follow every development of this strike from beginning to end. That coverage switches into full gear tomorrow morning at 6:30 when teachers hold a press conference at South High School. Then from 7 to 11, we will be there as they picket at schools all across the city. At 2, they will rally on the steps of the state capitol, and you can follow it all on our Denver 7 app, website, and right here on air.